Good morning, everyone. Like Cynthia said, I am Mariska Scriba, and I'm Head of Enterprise Security Services at MTN Converged Solutions, which is part of MTN Business, actually. And like she said, I will be covering cyber protection in the cloud, and that will be from an African perspective. So just to cover quickly, so I'll just look at some stats around cloud adoption and then cloud security in Africa, and then also the evolution of cloud adoption and cloud security in Africa. Then the overcoming skepticism, I combined that slide into another slide, so I won't have a separate slide on that one. And then just the importance of real-time cyber protection, and then also the best practices for real-time cloud security. Oh, and then just a couple of points on the future outlook, looking at cloud security as well. So this is actually quite small, eh? I was just saying, is it possible to swap the two screens? Not. Okay, that's fine. Or maybe I can use a, yeah. Is it fine? Yeah, sure. Okay. So then the stats. So most of the stats, it's coming from a McKinsey survey. So yeah, so looking at cloud adoption and the results of that survey, over 50% of companies in Africa have already adopted cloud solutions or cloud technologies. And that is in most parts of their operations. And then also over 60% of the respondents believe that companies in Africa will adopt cloud security or solutions in the near future. So I think 60% is actually quite low. I thought it would have been more than that, but okay. And then up to 77% of the respondents actually came from, who took on cloud adoption, is from East Africa, West Africa, and South Africa. And then telecommunications, so that's the leading sector for cloud adoption, and then financial services having the lowest adoption rate, and that is basically most probably likely due to the regulatory restrictions there. And I thought just to add the factors impacting current cloud adoption, so I only added the top 3. So like I mentioned, the legal and regulatory constraints, and that is top of the list. And then also the difficulty in managing multi-cloud complexities. And then I think, as we all know, so the third one, it's very difficult to implement the right cloud security operating model and the right tools as well. So, and then the last one there, so that is based on South Africa. So the cloud computing market in South Africa is expected to grow a CAGR rate of over 26% between 2023 and 2028, and that's expanding to 113 billion rands. So just with the increased cloud adoption comes a surge in cyber threats, as we know, so that is quite obvious because the cyber actors, they are very active. So we just need to be aware of all the cyber threats there. So over the past year, over Africa saw 50% increase in cyber attacks targeting cloud environments last year, and over 40% of those attacks it exploited real-time vulnerabilities. And then 60% of organizations experience at least one cloud-related breach, which is quite high as well. And because of all these factors, it actually led to organizations to increase these cloud security budgets by 30% on average. Okay, and then just, can I use this one? Sorry. Okay. So then just the evolution of cloud adoption in Africa. So that has been quite a journey. And because early on, many organizations, so yeah, I actually put 5 points down. If I need to, put all the timelines down, and since the start of the cloud adoption and the evolution, we will be here the whole day. So let's just focus on the 5. So yes, so early on, many organizations, they were very skeptic. They were very hesitant to adopt cloud services. And basically, that is due to data sovereignty and security. Also, with that is the limited internet infrastructure, and that obviously leads to then concerns about connectivity. Okay, and then, but basically, we had massive improvements on the infrastructure. So basically, the development of the undersea cables and also the improved broadband there. And then also a massive thing that happened is the local data centers that were established through major cloud providers. That will be your AWS, your Microsoft Azure, and companies like that. And that actually also helped the presence of, the presence of the local data centers. That had a massive impact on cloud adoption across the continent. So firstly, it actually addressed the data sovereignty issues because now the data resides within national borders, and that is also very crucial for, for compliance with local regulations, looking at POPIA, for example. Secondly, it reduces latency and improves service performance as well, which in turn enhances user experience. Then the last one is government support. That has also been very instrumental with various policies and initiatives from government that have been introduced just to promote digital transformation and to encourage adoption of cloud services across both public and private sectors. So just looking at all these things, so collectively, these developments have built greater trust in cloud technologies, so leading to the accelerated cloud adoption, which is actually quite a good thing, because organizations now feel more confident in leveraging cloud services to drive innovation, efficiency, and just to be more competitive in the market. Okay, and then, so building upon the growth of the cloud adoption in Africa, the evolution of cloud security has also been quite a journey to overcome significant challenges and to embrace new opportunities as well. So, so the first one, so looking at the challenges, so lack of awareness, so about cloud security risks, that was quite a big one because many organizations, they underestimated the threats associated with cloud computing. And they often assumed that the cloud service providers are actually responsible for the security. And with this misconception, it actually left systems vulnerable to attacks. Then the second one is, as we all know, it's not just in Africa, but a global concern, is the shortage of skilled cybersecurity professionals as well. And with this skills shortage, it also makes it difficult, to manage the cloud security measures properly as well. Then the infrastructure limitations, like I mentioned earlier as well, that just the inadequacy of that with the security infrastructure, like the absence of the firewalls or IDS systems, that is also that was also a problem. But yeah, I think over the years there has been a substantial increase in cybersecurity awareness. So that's where the turn actually came in. So a lot of educational companies, institutions and companies were established that is giving out, training programs. There are like certifications that you can do, workshops, even this event. I mean, this is why we are here as well. And even with universities, they are now offering cybersecurity degrees as well. I actually, when I did my master's, it was based on cybersecurity in schools, so primary and secondary schools, and if they actually cover that, is it part of the curriculum? So I did a lot of surveys, and back then, I'm not that old, but okay, I'm just saying, Back then, there was like absolutely nothing. So we had, interviews with the school principals and everything. And part of my research was actually to build a new framework to include cybersecurity in the curriculums. But now, like I said, now you get degrees and everything. So yes. So that actually changed, and then also the regulatory frameworks that has evolved as well, like the POPIA and some of the companies, or well, the organizations, they align with ISO 27001, or they also decide just to follow the NIST guidelines, and that also helped tremendously. So in the current state, while the continent faces advanced and sophisticated cyber attacks, the ransomware, the phishing, APTs and everything. So there's a proactive approach to combating these risks. And organizations are now increasingly implementing advanced technologies as well. So looking at your AI, or artificial intelligence, and also machine learning to detect and respond to the threats in real time. And in collaboration initiatives, that has also been very crucial. So your public-private partnerships are fostering information sharing initiatives, and also the establishment of your certs and everything in different countries like South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, and that also provides coordinated responses with cyber security incidents. So yes, so the development, it just illustrates a dynamic evolution of cloud security in Africa, which is quite good. Do I still have time? Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so I'm actually glad I just printed this out because I can't see there. Even though I lasered my eyes, just saying. Okay, and then the importance of real-time cyber protection. So I just thought to put some stuff down here. Okay, well, let me do this. So rapid threat evolution, so it's just cyber threats emerge and evolve within seconds. We all know that. So that's why cyber protection in real time is important. And it's also minimizing damage. So real-time detection significantly reduces your breach impacts if you have any breaches. And then proactive defense. So we all know proactive is better than reactive. And then compliance requirements, so essential for meeting your regulatory standards. Customer trust, obviously, because with brand reputation, to protect your brand, it builds also your customer confidence, and then cost savings. So early detection, that lowers costs associated with breaches, and then business continuity, just minimal disruption to your services, and advanced threat detection, that identifies sophisticated attacks like your zero-day exploits, and obviously your competitive advantage, because a strong security posture that attracts customers, and data integrity, so it's just to maintain accuracy and reliability of your data as well. Just some best practices for real-time cloud security. I think most of these things we all know, but I thought, okay, let us put it down. So to implement the AI and machine learning, like I just mentioned, so just to enhance your threat detection capabilities, and also adopt a zero-trust security model. So well, it's like, it's a never trust, always verify. We know we need to do that. And 24/7 continuous monitoring and logging, and then also, that's quite important, is your regular security audits and assessments. Safeguard data in all states, so encrypt your data at rest and in transit as well. We all know MFA, to enable MFA, just to strengthen your access controls as well, and configure secure configuration management, so just to harden your system setups there. Automated patch management, I know there's like some people still not doing patch management, because nothing is wrong, they never had an issue, so they just ignore that, which is very wrong, but okay. And then develop an incident response plan. So just, you need to know what to do when you get approval during a breach, who to contact, and everything there. And very important, conduct employee training and awareness programs. So yeah, very important to build that security conscious culture. that is quite important as well. Okay. Can I just use this one again? Okay. So the future outlook. So it will cover some of the things that I already said. So just look at increased investment in cloud security. So I previously also mentioned a percentage in annual growth, but now they say projected annual growth will be more than 20% in cloud security spending over the next 5 years. And also emerging technologies, more and more companies will adopt AI and machine learning. And just to start prepare for quantum computing impacts as well. So that's quite important. And then strengthening your regulatory frameworks, implementation of Pan-African cybersecurity laws, like I also mentioned earlier, your POPIA to focus on that. And then your skills development and education. So just continue growing your cybersecurity training programs to focus on that. If your company allows it, just get the grads and help them, teach them. That is also quite important. Push the certifications, and then also just to try and address the cybersecurity skills gap there. Cloud security innovations. There will be a rise of cloud security as a service models. Also the development of zero trust architectures, and then increased collaboration and partnerships. So I know there are actually some tools that you can use where you share information. Different people can get access to those tools. Say for example, malware information that you want to share. All those tools are available. Some of it is actually free of charge. So if you want to do that, that's quite nice actually. It can also integrate to your firewalls and everything. So if you want to push some rules down, you can do that. And then also participate in global threat intelligence sharing networks. I know there are a lot of WhatsApp groups even that you can join. So do that. And then focus on IoT and edge computing security. So like IoT, it is also expanding. So at MTN, we also actually built IoT products. And security is very important to that. So we always collaborate. So how can we actually make the IoT environment and landscape also secure? So that's important. And and then just resilience against advanced threats. So prepare for the sophisticated cyber attacks. And yes, I think that is then almost my last slide. What's happening? It doesn't work. Oh, there. Okay, so just in conclusion, like I said, key takeaways. So cloud adoption is accelerating in Africa. Real-time cyber protection is essential. And then also the collaboration and innovation are critical for security. Call to action is invest in real-time security solutions, foster the partnerships across the different sectors, and just stay informed and proactive. Yes, thank you.
I think just from a public service perspective, the alignment of cloud adoption, which is obviously clear that we're all moving in that direction, but then of course comes the question around data sovereignty and the alignment of data sovereignty to the security aspect of cloud as something that's very pertinent within the public sector. And with that said, if we consider just in the last 2 years, right, the Ukraine war, et cetera, all taking place, we had a very strong argument in saying that is South Africa as a state under threat of potential cyber breaches on the basis that we're utilizing a number of cloud technologies, be it Microsoft or any of the others. And the fact that some of the data, as much as we have given a directive that says data sovereignty is important to us, somewhere along the line we find out that half of our information is being processed somewhere outside of our borders. What would be your advice around the security measures in relation to government organizations, particularly those who are regarded as, I can't even get to the word as to what we call them, national key points, there we go, in terms of their cybersecurity enhancement towards the, basically making sure that our data is sovereign and that we do not face the greater potential of attacks?
Oh, that is actually quite interesting. Yes, we actually, we see that as an issue, because I know that the just keeping the information in country is always an issue. Yeah, I actually need to think about that one. Yes, let me think about that one, and then I'll just come and chat to you. Yeah, awesome.
Thank you. Do you think it is prudent if you have already a physical data center for you also to have something in the cloud? If yes or no, why?
So are you asking, do you need one or the other, or both?
Both. Is it wise to have both? If yes, why? If no, why?
Well, I would say it is good to have both. You know, also if you look at, to have it online is basically, you know, it's quite convenient and all those kind of things. But to have it offline as well, I like to say to have your backups and everything offline, because, you know, everything can't be online. But is that basically what you're asking? Because according to me, you know, it's not to have everything online.
I was going more towards the physical data that you have.
Yeah.
And storing it in the cloud. But you already have a physical data center. Is it necessary to have both? Or is a physical one good enough?
I think it should be in the context of our overall strategy, data management strategy, your infrastructure, and also the type of data that you're dealing with. Can you afford to replicate, right, both in the cloud and also have physical presence? It will double the cost. If you're using the cloud, for what reason are you using the cloud, and what kind of business processes and applications and data you're putting in the cloud vis-a-vis you know, those that you will keep in your own data center. I think there's a need to just look at an overall strategy around that. It's quite a difficult question to answer outright and say you can just go with, you know, that hybrid type approach. So I think there's a need to have a conversation, look at an overall strategy of the organization and the data and the system architecture, and also strategy around that.
And also how big your organization is, and what sector, where are you from?
The transport sector.
Okay.
We have, just in the morning, 16 million clicks.
Jeepers, okay.
And in the afternoons, another 16 million clicks.
Okay, yeah, but that was a very good answer, thank you.
I think just overall strategy around that. It's one of those questions we need to take offline, understand your current environment, what you're trying to achieve, and then deal with the how element. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Mariska, thanks a lot.
Thank you.